Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Into the Vault, the show where we reach back into the Disney vault, pull out a movie, and find out if it was a hidden treasure or if it was locked away for our own good. I'm your host, Garrison MacCraw, and what is this in the distance? A couple bears bringing in, my guest. They're bringing my guest in on a stick. Oh, they are roasting him over open fire. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, can they cut me down now and so I can...
No, I have to keep you tied up or I'm not sure you'll stay for the whole review.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you're the first guest I've ever had do a whole podcast totally sideways, but I think that's cool. You know, you're breaking barriers.
Oh no, they're starting the fire.
Yeah.
What should I do?
Just hang out.
Oh.
You want nice and cozy?
This one's looking at me.
Well, they have very large eyes. Zaelin MacCraw, hey, how's it going?
I'm doing very good, except for the
Ewok thing.
Ewoks.
Hey, we just have to wait for a gold droid to come around. Basically, I can't translate. I don't know what they're saying.
Okay, maybe I can try to talk to them.
All right.
Cut rope. Yeah.
Well, it looks like it's working, but they are also gathering more supplies and heading to the forest. So,
can we do it quick before they get
come back?
more firewood?
Yeah. We'll try to make it quick. Hey, Zaelin MacCraw, thank you so much for joining me on this lovely May the 4th, Star Wars Day.
That's today?
That's today. We're definitely not recording this a few days before.
Yeah, because I would be watching The Bad Batch instead. I would not be here on this.
Yeah, we're gonna watch.
Stick.
Yeah, you're gonna be watching The Bad Batch later today because it's May the 4th, obviously.
Yeah.
Zaelin, just so the audience knows, you're actually my younger brother. You're the youngest guest I've ever had on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that, whoever my last
Oh,
I'm gonna have to adjust that. Yeah, take that, whoever my last youngest guest was. Probably Nate. I don't know who it is. I can look. So, Zaelin, today, because it's May the 4th, I decided we're going to watch not the dumbest Star Wars thing I could find, because there's a lot of dumb Star Wars out there, but definitely the dumbest that isn't super long to watch.
Okay. Oh, what is it called?
It's called Ewoks.
Like those things that just carried me out here?
Yeah, just like them.
It's a coincidence.
I know.
Did you call them? Did you hire them? Was it you? Did you have them take me on a stick so I could be burned?
It was a strange coincidence, and that's it. Nothing else.
All right.
I almost thought we should watch the Droids TV show, but I couldn't hire any droid. I mean, never mind.
There's a Droids TV show?
Hey, look at this poster. So in front of you, I've placed a poster of the Ewoks TV show, and just so the audience knows, this was an animated television show that came out in 1985. It was paired along with a Droids animated show, also called Droids, starring C-3PO and R2-D2, but this one is all about Wicket, the Ewok from Star Wars Episode 6, The Return of the Jedi.
All right. Yeah.
So, Zaelin, tell me a little bit what's going on in this picture.
It says Ewoks.
Yeah, very good.
Star Wars. There's a white Ewok with a like a pink cape, and she's like swinging around. Wicket has a yellow hoodie for some reason instead of his red hoodie.
What? You don't have more than one shirt?
Especially not in cartoons.
Oh,
but
okay.
Even episode 9, he had his red hoodie after he was like older. There's like a swamp Doofenshmirtz looking guy with a wand, and then it's like this wizard guy with a red stick, and he has like a beard even though he already has fur. So I don't know how he has a beard over his fur. That doesn't make sense. And then it looks like it's dark and there's fog in the back. That's about it.
Yeah. So yeah, like looking at this poster, it is so strange because it is definitely like the Ewoks, but I'm not getting Star Wars vibes off of this.
It looks
at all.
No.
Like this very much feels like an 80s Saturday morning cartoon, which it is. In fact, it almost reminds me a little bit. I don't think you would have seen this, but there was a Disney Channel a cartoon called The Gummy Bears, and this kind of looks similar to that.
What was that about? Just kids eating gummy bears?
Yeah. No, it was about little bears.
Little bears?
Yeah, going on adventures. Like, it was like the same kind of world as like a DuckTales or a Rescue Rangers, where it's just like they go on an adventure and like either solve a mystery or help someone or whatever.
It's what animal TV shows did.
That's all they do. Yeah, they all just go on adventures.
Could you imagine waking up in the morning back in the 80s and you just go downstairs and then you turn on the TV and the only thing playing
it's various animals
or any other, like,
it's just various
animal
doing the same adventures,
rescue shows. That'd be
amazing.
Yeah.
The best era ever. Yeah, there's not really too much more I can go into on. Yeah.
One more question. Does this show? I've only seen the first Ewok movie, and I haven't seen the second one. But does this take place before or after those movies?
I have no idea. That is a great question on where this takes place.
I mean,
I have to assume it takes place after Return of the Jedi, which would mean after the Ewok shows, because the Ewok shows take place before. Yeah. I mean, the Ewok movies take place before Return of the Jedi. So I would assume after.
I want this show just to be about, like, the kids from the first Ewok movie getting stuck on Endor every episode. Then they have to go through, like, an hour of pointless things, and then they find, like, a way to get them back. And then the next episode, they crash again on the planet, and they have to save them again.
Do you think the kids from the Ewok Adventure Caravan of Courage are going to show up?
I would hope so. Those kids were amazing. Like,
great actors.
I don't remember either of their names.
Nope.
I only knew Wicket's the only character I remember from that, and the big troll Kinderlumper thing from that episode of Phineas and Ferb that takes people like their parents.
Yep.
That's the only thing I remember about that movie. And there's a lake bit or something where he gets stuck in a lake. I don't remember anything about that movie other than those things.
All right, so trying to look this up, I can't find where it is in the timeline. I mean, granted, it's not in canon anymore, because when Disney bought Star Wars, they threw out anything that wasn't...
good?
Yeah, anything that wasn't good. It was out of here.
Yeah, but that was like George Lucas's next trilogy was the Ewoks.
The Ewok trilogy.
He made his first movies, and then he was like,
that was a warm-up.
You know what?
For the Ewoks.
The Ewoks are going to be the biggest movies of all time. People will be lined up to, like, China from California just trying to get to watch this movie because it's going to be so good. And then they'll make a TV show to go with it that probably is unrelated to anything that happened in those movies.
So apparently Imperials do show up in an episode, or
they do,
or at least Imperial droids, according to the Wikipedia.
That sounds kind of cool.
So maybe this takes place either right before or right after. I don't know.
Maybe
it leads right up to it.
It was right before Wicket got his red hoodie, for sure. Okay.
It runs like Clone Wars Season 7. It runs parallel with Return of the Jedi. Like,
it's going on during these movies.
Yeah.
Wicket is multitasking his little rescue ranger's adventure as he's fighting the Empire.
Excellent. All right, I think that's all we can talk about before watching.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so we're going to watch the first 2 episodes. That's going to be what we do. We're going to talk about the first 2 episodes of this thing. And hopefully the other Ewoks don't come back first. All right, goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
And we are back. We have just finished watching the first 2 episodes of Ewoks, the animated series. Zaelin,
wasn't good.
Isn't this? But this is some of the best Star Wars you've ever seen, right?
It was
Star Wars.
It was.
Well,
Like,
let's talk about what we saw.
Okay.
All right, so we watched first 2 episodes. The first episode is called "The Cries of the Trees."
Oh, and I was crying too. The trees aren't the only one. Okay.
Yeah. So we open up and on just the worst theme song I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, it was the worst thing my ears have ever had to listen to.
It was really bad.
Walks.
The guy who was singing that song sounded like he wanted to die. Like he sounded like this is the only gig he could get, and he was so upset. He was like, Ewoks.
If you have not, I highly recommend looking up the Ewoks theme song because it's something else. It's magical, really. But a theme song does not a show make. So what about the show itself? Well, we open up to a bunch of Ewoks, like Wicket and his friends, hanging out, chatting in regular English.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess I didn't need to talk to the Ewoks earlier in their language because they speak English. So I could have just spoken to them in English, and they probably would have understood me.
Yeah. Well, you were trying to be respectful of their culture.
Something to.
It's better to try.
Yeah.
Put in the effort. You know what I mean?
Something kind of interesting is Wicket actually did have his red hoodie on in the show, but not in the image for the show.
Crazy.
Isn't that insane, Garrison?
That's insane. What even happened? Wicket and his friends are hanging out in the forest at night, and they run into some fairies.
It's like the queen of the sugar plum fairies.
Yeah.
And she has like friends there, and then Wicket's like, "Oh, this is cool" or whatever. Then he bumps into his aunt, who is
she was very annoyed with him slightly bumping into her.
She was like, Wicket, how dare you?
Yeah, then for the next few scenes, it's just a series of kind of comedic bits where just random stuff like, oh, we're playing drop the mud balloon or whatever. And then she'd walk in and have it fall on her, and she'd be like, Wicket, you suck. Wicket, I can't believe I walked in on you, and then you didn't notice me when I came in from behind.
And then, should we talk about the villain?
Yeah, meanwhile, in a cave,
it's not just all trees. There was like this big rocky area.
And it's nice to see a little bit more of the landscapes of Endor, because you were right. We only get to see like the forest part during the movies, but now we get to see all sorts of landscapes. And the Switch is like, I have a plan. I have kidnapped this fairy, and I'm going to use my magic
to make her go evil or something, to burn down the forest and get revenge on Logray, the king's advisor or something. Not the king, the advisor.
Zaelin, you have picked up way more on this episode than I ever will. Yeah, so she lets these...
and I picked up on that while I'm spinning around on this stick that I'm on while I'm being, like, roasted.
That was impressive.
While I'm spinning around on a stick.
I will admit, even as someone currently free of being tied up, I did not realize it that much. Well, you're like more in the spirit, though. You know what I mean? Just because of all the Ewoks around you.
I guess.
And that's kind of all that happens. The fairies light stuff on fire, and then Wicket and his friends are like,
we have to stop it. And then they throw like water balloons at it that work. And then the witch is like, you can't stop me that easily. She like burns down the catapult they were using to use the water. So the Wicket's like, I have a plan. Let's use our gliders to get above the fire to drop water on it. But none of them trust him because he was doing like pranks earlier, like dumping water on his aunt or whatever.
They're like, you mildly inconvenienced your aunt a little bit earlier, so I don't know. I don't know if we can trust you with this mission. We know you're good at dropping stuff from your glider because that's what you were doing. But who can we trust to drop stuff from a glider? So they let him try, and after 2 water balloons or whatever, they succeed.
And then after they dump a water balloon on the witch, Morang
Meringue pie?
Morang. It was like
It's Morag.
Morag. That's what it is. I was like, it's Morag. Then she she looks like dinosaur type thing. She kind of has like a beak, like something.
Yeah.
She's like, I will get Logray and the Ewoks.
This character is just like Rita Repulsa from Power Rangers. That's the
make my monster grow
and light things on fire. You do a better Rita Repulsa than me. After 10,000 years, I'm free. No, I can't do it. Yeah, and
that was that episode.
That was that.
And then they all at the end, the Chief Sherpa's daughter, white Ewok with pink cape, like
because she's a girl and girls have to wear pink.
After every episode, she like kisses Wicket on the cheek. It's like, I'm so proud of you, Wicket. And he's like, oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, it should also be noted that every Ewok in this sounds like a mouse from Cinderella. Every single one of them.
Like,
Lucifine.
And none of them look like how they did in the movies, other than Wicket, maybe.
Right, because they have Tebow in this episode. Tebow's an Ewok from Return of the Jedi, and in this show, he's like a light sandy brown.
And in the movie, he's like black with gray stripes.
Yeah, and he has like a skull hat in the movie. And this one, he has like a Peter Pan kind of a.
He did have that. And then the Logray is in the movies, he was like seemed like Chief Chirpa's advisor, except now he's like a wizard with a big blue robe and stuff now.
It was like, oh, we don't want to overdo it for our human like Jedi guests. I'll leave the robe at home this time. Not for this ceremony. We have a golden god droid here. I can't look all silly. And that was the first episode.
And then episode 2.
Then episode 2 starts, it's the witch again, and she has a dragon.
No, it starts with Wicket and the girlfriend, his like girl lady friend princess. They're like walking around in the forest, and then this dragon comes and picks her up. It was like a pterodactyl.
Yeah,
dragon
pterodactyl dragon.
And it like
thing.
picks her up and then drops her, and like she's like, "Oh, what was that?" And Wicket's like, "I don't know. We should rather go warn the others," or something like that.
They go back, and yeah, the witch from the previous episode is now tasked her dragon with going and eating all the berry bushes
or something, which would and then you might destroy the trees after that or something. So the Ewoks have this genius plan where they all crowd around Chief Chirpa and Logray.
And the chief is like, all right, guys, this has happened to us before, where this thing came in and destroyed all the berries, and we all got sick, and we couldn't make pies, and it was horrible. It was the worst couple months of our lives. But luckily, we Ewoks have the special soap.
And then this one Ewok's like, oh, what are we gonna do? Clean it to death? And they're like making fun of him. He's like, no. And then dump it on the bush, and it's like, look, the soap makes things invisible.
The Ewoks have invisibility soap, which I think that would have been very helpful with their fight against the Empire, and yet it never comes up again.
Well, they had to save it to protect their berries.
Their bushes. Okay, you're right.
Garrison.
The Empire wasn't really a threat to the Ewoks. They were more doing they were just 3PO a favor.
Yeah. Empire's just taking up a little corner for their base landing
the Ewoks
area.
Who cares?
And they're like, it's not near our area though.
They're not eating our berries.
They're not eating our berries.
If the Empire was eating our berries, then we could use the soap. these creatures, they're called the Dulocs?
The Dulocs. These,
which is the city from Shrek.
Yeah. They're like Grinch, like...
Yeah, they look...
These weird, like, Grinch, Doofenshmirtz swamp people.
Yeah.
And they're, like, trying to do something. There's, like, 3 of them, and they're all really dumb.
The 3 of them are trying to do is they're covered in flies because they stink, and they're like, the only thing that can prevent these flies is Ewok soap.
Yeah,
so they're gonna steal the Ewok soap, and they go in, but the soap they end up taking is the invisibility soap.
Oh, and by the way, the water takes away the soap, so if you dump water on things, the soap will not make things not invisible anymore. And so they, like, go in a lake, and they're, like, putting it on, and they're like, your head's gone! What happened to my hands? And they're like, we must use this to attack the Ewoks.
And by attack the Ewoks, they mean go pull a few...
Pranks.
Yeah, just a few pranks.
So they go to the Ewoks, and are, like, knocking people's stuff over, and, like
throwing pies in the face.
After they do all this pranks, he's like, oh, we're the spirits of the trees, and you're disturbing us because you've lived here for, like, too long, so go away forever. And then Logray's like, no, the trees wouldn't think that of us. We've lived together peacefully forever.
Which, I want to pause here, because all the Ewok elders and leaders are having a debate on whether or not it is or isn't the tree spirits doing this to them. But they just brought up the invisibility soap like 2 days. Like, every Ewok knows about invisibility soap. Well, that would be my first instinct is, oh no, like there's flying brooms and weird voices. Someone got the invisibility soap that we just gave to Wicket, a notable failure. Who we never trust anyway. He probably lost it.
Yeah. And then one of the Ewoks is like, look, there's, like, footprints from, like, one of them stepped in a thing of fruit. Now there's juice from the fruit. And they're like, oh, it's Duloc footprints. It was just them. We have to go take our soap back because Wicket lost the rest. So we have to get the soap they have because it's the last of the soap.
So they've run out of invisibility soap except for the one the Dulocs took. Also... if the Dulocs stepped in fruit and got fruit juice all over their foot and left tracks, isn't that wet? Wouldn't that have washed the soap off anyway?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just water, Garrison.
Oh, it's just water. It doesn't count if it's fruit juice. So the Ewoks have to go steal the soap back, and they're going to try and Indiana Jones it with a different bar of soap.
Yeah, and Logray, the wizard, or maybe it was Chirpa, I don't remember. It was one of them. They're like, oh, go collect all these bugs because we're going to use it for a plan later.
So yeah, Wicket tries to sneak into the camp, and when he's there, he tries to grab soap and replace it, but the Dulocs notice him. It starts a very big chase sequence, and Wicket's tossing the soap, like the invisibility soap, to like his friends, this, that, and the other, and eventually ends up back with Wicket, but he gets grabbed by the Dulocs. When it falls out, the fake soap falls out, and the Dulocs grab that. Wicket hides the real soap, the real invisibility soap, and then the Dulocs are like, oh, we win. They let Wicket go.
And then they start rubbing the soap on, like, themselves, and then it's like, they're like, now let the bugs loose, and then all the bugs are attracted to this new soap.
Yeah. I don't know what sort of...
Is it a new soap? Is there 3 soaps? Because the one was supposed to get the bugs away, and then the
there's
one's
the invisibility soap. So
there's a third
Ewoks
soap.
But they didn't like go, hold on, they didn't earlier go, hold on, we have a plan for the Dulocs. We're going to create a new soap that attracts bugs. That means they have bug-attracting soap on hand already. I can't imagine what purpose this is for, except for trying to replace invisibility soap and trick people, even though it doesn't look anything the same.
And then the real soap gets, like, Wicket, like, drops into, like, the puddle of water. They're like, oh no, the soap's gone now. But then Wicket, like, is like, wait, I have an idea. And he takes, like, a bag and, like, scoops up the water soap.
Which, if the invisibility soap dissolved in water and Wicket scoops up some of that water in a bucket and dumps that over the berry bushes so the dragon doesn't see him, Didn't water make the soap stop working?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe when it's mixed, it does. I don't know how it works, but Morag's like lets the dragon go, and the dragon thing comes, and they're like, "Oh no, hide!" And it like swoops over like 4 times. It's like, and then it like flies away, and they're like, "Yeah, we did it!" And then Wicket's like, "Oh wait, I just need to see one more thing." And then he like jumps into the invisible bush, and he's like, just as I thought. The berries taste just as good invisible as they do not being invisible. And they're all like, and then the episode ends.
And that's our little taste into the Ewok animated show. And Zaelin, you want to hear just a little bit of trivia? A little bit of trivia before we got a little bit of trivia, just a little bit.
Right.
This show is no longer canon.
No,
yeah.
Don't say it's not canon anymore.
A lot of the designs and the characters, especially for the princess, what's her face, the white one with the pink hood, they end up bringing a lot of those characters back later into new canon. They're in the Forces of Destiny show, which is canon. There are a few episodes that take place on Endor, and you see those Ewoks from the show in that show.
Is Forces of Destiny like the one with... Which one is that? I haven't
That's
seen
the like 5-minute cartoons where it's like the female heroes of Star Wars. So it'd be like Princess Leia episode, Ahsoka episode, Padme episode.
Yeah.
They're all on Disney Plus, and they're kind of fun.
I didn't know they were canon.
Yeah, those ones are canon.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Maybe I should go
they even have the Gornok or whatever, the big troll from the
movie.
From
canon?
from the Ewok movie. So the big troll is canon too. God. Yeah. So thank you, Forces of Destiny, for making all the various Ewok media canon.
Someone out there who's making Forces of Destiny grew up on the Ewok trilogy.
Yeah.
It was like, I need to put this in something to make it canon because it needs some love, okay? Even though they didn't need any love. They were terrible.
And in terms of like obviously there's a lot of Star Wars attractions in the Disney parks. There's even a whole Star Wars land now. Nothing particularly pertaining to this particular show, but the facade outside of Star Tours The Adventure Continues is an Ewok village. Granted, that is more of a reference to Episode 6, but if you're looking for Ewok stuff, that's a pretty good Ewok thing. As well as they used to have Ewok meet and greet characters, not from the show. They just had like Ewoks that would like show up for Star Wars weekends.
Oh, I did not know they had
Ewoks. They even as recently as 2019 had Ewoks. I believe you could meet a couple of Ewoks during the Star Wars marathon. I could be wrong. It could have just been Jawas, but I think Ewoks were out and about not that long ago at Disney World.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. But that's about it for Ewok-related trivia.
Are the voice actors do anything else for it?
I tried looking up the voice actors, and like most of them aren't that big of names. Not really ones who've done too much else. Like this was very much a small project. And of course, this show, while we're watching it, it didn't really give me a lot of Star Wars vibes. I read a thing where one of the writers of the show, wrote an episode where it was essentially about an Imperial like pilot or stormtrooper or something who crash lands on Endor and has to decide whether, and there's like something going on with the Imperials, and this guy has to decide like whether he like helps the Ewoks or if he goes against the Ewoks. And this episode was never made because the guy wrote the episode and pitched it to the studio that was making the Ewok show, and the studio said, "Sorry, this is too Star Wars-y."
Wait, really?
Yeah. So that's why the show doesn't feel very Star Wars-y, because the network was kicking out any idea that was a Star Wars-y idea.
Do you think that episode would have had a song in it where the Imperial guy's like, "I'm a Ewok, or am I a Imperial pilot? Am I a pilot? If I'm a pilot."
No, because it would be a song where they're way more bored and they sound miserable.
Oh yeah.
I
am
Imperial
a pilot.
P pilot.
That song was so bad.
It was great. It was a good song. But yeah, that's about it for trivia. So now we have to create an attraction for the Ewoks animated series.
Do you have an idea for one?
I have a little bit of one, but it seems as if you do have one. You got
Okay.
kind of excited.
This ride would be at Hollywood Studios.
Of course, mix it in with all the other Star Wars.
Yeah, it would.
Would it be in Galaxy's Edge?
It would not be.
Would it replace Galaxy's Edge?
No, it would not.
We take out all of Galaxy's Edge and just put in an Ewok village.
That would actually be kind of cool. But no, my idea was, so you know how by Star Tours you have that whole
the Ewok
like
village.
the Ewok
Yeah.
village walkthrough. I think you could either have that be the new queue for a ride, or redo the Star Tours ride to be a new ride.
Of course.
Where like, let's say it's the Star Tours ride, and you go in, it's like all themed nature now and stuff, and you get to this one area with a scream, and it's like Morag, and she's like, I'm going to destroy the forest with the fire. Then Logray like comes on the screen, and he's like, oh no guys, we have to hop into our gliders and start dumping like water onto the fire.
Okay, wait. I see where you're going with this. Almost like a Toy Story Mania mixed with Soarin'.
Yeah.
So you're in Soarin', and in front of you is like a bucket.
Yeah.
It's not filled with anything, but it's a motion-based bucket. I see where you're going. The screen's below you, and anytime there's a fire, you dump it upside down, and on the screen, water would fall.
But it's not like a big budget for this ride.
Okay.
So it's like the Ninjago ride at Legoland, where you try to shoot, but it doesn't really
It
work.
doesn't really work. You dump it
kind of
upside down,
works.
and like maybe...
It sometimes works.
Or like you're not even dumping, and there's like the water balloons falling beneath you. You're like, I didn't even turn my bucket. The sensors are just broken.
It doesn't work.
The guy
at
next
all.
to you like just turns his once, and it's just constantly falling. Like it's inconsistent for everyone.
It doesn't work at all.
Do you have like on the screens next to you animated Wicket and the princess or whatever
Yeah, it
flying
could be
next
like,
to you?
It could be like they're like all flying around. You know, like the rides have like the voice like helping you out or whatever. It could be like low gray, but then you see like Wicket fly by sometimes. They're like, all right, come on, guys. Then he goes, shoo, and then like dumps some, and then you're supposed to do it after.
Here's the thing. This ride actually sounds kind of fun. Like an interactive...
Like, ew, splash.
But the ride can't be called like Star Wars Ewok Adventure, because that's too Star Warsy.
It just has to be
Anything
called...
Star Warsy has to get taken out because it can't be too Star Warsy.
Yeah, so like Star Tours can still have its own line or whatever, but the new line is with like the Ewok area. It's gonna be right next to the Star Tours ride, but they removed the AT-AT outside because that's too Star
Warsy.
So they have to take that out. And then they replace it with like a weird, like
just a bug,
like a bug, or like a weird creature they have in it,
like a brand new. It's just mad. There's a cauldron.
I'm a cauldron.
This right sounds. And for those of you who don't understand the reference, at Legoland, Florida, there's a Ninjago ride. It's supposed to be kind of like the upcoming Spider-Man ride at Disneyland. It's like a Toy Story Mania. There's a screen, you're supposed to be shooting at stuff.
Except you don't have a weapon.
You don't have a weapon, you
like,
use your hands.
Use your hands, you just
And
kind of
you
like
punch forward.
But it doesn't really shoot. It like does it sometimes, and it will kind of hit like the villains.
The motion
sometimes.
sensors. Yeah, the motion sensors on it are wonky as all get out, So yeah, I love this idea of having an Ewok ride of the same budget as that one. I'm all about it.
When they make like that Peppa Pig world or whatever, it's gonna have the same ride as Ninjago, where you have to like, it's like
shoot at,
like throw muddy puddles at Peppa Pig or something, so she can jump in it.
Actually, the whole ride's just gonna be you trying to teach her how to whistle, and it doesn't work.
And she's like, oh no, I don't know how to whistle.
But that's enough about Peppa Pig. Back to Ewoks.
Oh yeah, but Peppa Pig's more Ewoks, because Star Wars, it can't be Star Wars.
It can't be too Star Wars.
So it has to be.
All right, how about
Pig
instead?
2.
How about instead the Ewok ride is just a Peppa Pig ride, because that way it's not too Star Warsy.
It's not even Ewoks.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and then like I'm trying to think of some of the things they could have like in the line for the Ewoks ride after you're in the nature area. It could be like
Well, they could have like little lights go off to represent the fairies.
Yeah,
like,
the little fairies that's like.
I think the queue should be a lot like the E.T. adventure queue
Yeah.
over at Universal, where you're in the
It's like
forest,
the forest.
and there's like little animatronics everywhere that are, again, very low budget.
So it's like
So there should be an Ewok.
but it's like the Cat in the Hat one where the lip kind of moves.
It just doesn't sync up correctly.
It's the worst animatronics. And then instead of like spears or anything, all the Ewoks get magic wands. And instead of bow and arrows and all that stuff, they all get magic wands and cauldrons in the line.
So I think this is the perfect ride, and I don't think anything better could come along for this.
Oh, and one last thing for this Ewok ride we made, at the beginning of the ride, before like you enter like the flames and stuff, you can have Wicket showing you how to dump the water or whatever. He's like, oh look, before you get on the ride, it's like a screen, and he's like showing you how to dump it, and he's like, look, you dump it like this, and then it lands on his aunt, and she's like, Wicket! And he's like, oh no, let's get out of here, let's go stop the fire.
Genius. So, Zaelin, now we have to decide, is this show a hidden treasure, or should it be locked away? Should it be relegated to legends forever?
If you are an Ewoks fan, don't watch this.
You don't want to ruin the Ewoks?
You don't want to ruin the Ewoks. The Ewok movies are fine if you want to watch I guess, but don't watch this show.
They're bad, but it's like... But it's not. It's a different kind of bad.
At least there's like blasters in that, and like they use spears, not like magic wands and like
and invisibility soap.
Yeah,
invisibility
soap. Invisibility soap.
Yeah, at least the other ones, the live action Ewok movies, are kind of Star Warsy.
Yeah,
I guess.
There's like that one bit from the first movie where he reaches his hand into the tree, then like that worm like bites it, kind of like in Empire Strikes Back when it tries to eat the Millennium Falcon. That worm thing.
Yeah, this show is, it's not a hidden treasure, guys. It's, if you like weird 80s cartoons, this fits the vibe of a lot of those, but it's almost more boring. It's like those, but worse.
You can put it in the vault. Then it needs to be like, send it to space or something. It can live with the Ewoks.
It can't go to space. That's too Star Warsy.
Oh, yeah, it's too Star Warsy. So we have to dump it in the ocean, put the vault in the ocean, and then it'll sink. No one's gonna find it. Feed it to the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, thank goodness. I thought you were going to say a Star Wars creature, but no, it can't be a Star Wars creature. Too Star Warsy.
Yeah, it has to be a dragon, pterodactyl.
I think even if you're the world's biggest Star Wars fan, you don't need this one.
No, yeah,
you just don't need it. It's there's fun things about it. There's not. No, you're right.
I mean,
I'm trying really hard to be a little positive.
The second episode I at least kind of like better because I was used to the animation by then.
You know, I will say for the era, the animation is on par.
It's okay.
It's on par. It's on par with most Saturday morning cartoons. It's even, some of it's a little better than other animations of the era. Yeah. Not by too much, but the animation quality is a little better. So I will give props to the animators. There was like a few effects where like when the Dulocs were making themselves invisible, I thought the animators did a really good job with that effect. But the rest of it is...
Most of the voice actors were good.
Most of them. They were doing a good job with what they were supposed to do.
Like, Wicket sounds like what you probably could do Wicket if he spoke English.
Yeah.
Like, oh, come on, guy. We have to go do this.
Mm-hmm. Just, if you're going to watch a cartoon that's from the Legends era, just watch
the classic Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah, watch the micro
one's
series.
Good.
That one's really good. All right, guys. Thank you, Zen, so much for joining me. It looks like those Ewoks are coming back.
Oh no, cute. Oh, dang it! I don't want to be cooked.
Well, it's either be cooked or watch more episodes of the Ewok show. So which do you choose?
Yeah, never mind. Come on, guys, hurry up! Come on.
All right,
you can do it.
All
What,
right.
is that magical soap? Uh-oh, they got some soap. Are they gonna try to get bugs to eat me? Is this the new soap?
It's a new flavor soap. They
New
have soaps for
flavor.
every occasion.
Oh no, it's the roasting a human for a sacrifice soap.
Yeah. Classic Ewoks. All right. Goodbye, Zaelin.